All right, everybody, welcome back to an episode of Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast with your host, Sylvie Dow. And I have a special guest. Well, all my guests are special. But this lady, again, was somebody that I met in the mastermind that I have been part of for the last 6 months. And that's where I found a lot of my amazing guests. Her name is Denise Wester. And she is in California right now, right? Or the West Coast?
Washington.
3 hours away. And thank you for getting up so early to do this. But the lovely thing about Denise is that not only does she ride bikes, which is 2 thumbs up, but she just published an amazing book called Busting Through. And I have read it. It's I just want to say a couple of things before I give you a little bio on Denise. But one of the things when she sent me the book, and I personally love the size. If you can see, it's a not a normal size. Well, it's like a journal size book, and it's easy to read through, which is nice because sometimes it's just so hard. She has it broken up really smart. And she has 16 different chapters, and they're all dedicated to something different. So just say patience and personal growth and be kind and give and be present. And with little things to think about, I'm just going to show you guys a couple of things. We're going to talk about her book, but I'm just going to talk about her book first, and then I'm going to introduce Denise. Okay. So let me just say, like, for instance, if you could see, I don't know if you could see there, like right at the bottom, there's a couple little points that she gives you to think about, and you can journal about them. And the nice thing is that she's left lots of space in the back for your thoughts and gratitudes and ideas. And so I started putting some in there. So yeah, gratitudes. And the other one was affirmations. So I really enjoyed her book. So here's Denise.
Hi.
So Denise, this is Denise. So I'm just going to do her little bio, then we're going to bring her right on out. And of course, I'm going to add all the links where you can get this book in Amazon. Super easy. So Denise, let's just give a little bit about her. She found herself a single mom on welfare, not knowing where she would sleep the next night. She got courageous and busted through. So that's the whole premise about the book, like her experience and what has worked for her. So busted through to make a better life for her family and herself. So she had 3 kids, right?
I had 4.
4 kids. Look at me. I cut myself. So Denise has experienced bankruptcy, divorce, multiple job layoffs, recovering from many wrong turns, a severe car accident that left her in rehabilitation for a number of years. Through life has been a great instructor, isn't it all? As long as you're learning from your experience, and has experienced life-changing results through herself, creating vibrant, joyful, and authentic life. And that's where this idea of her book came through. So she's also a certified life coach. Denise is passionate about helping people overcome their stories that are holding them back, discovering their passions, clearing up the clutter in your life that is bogging you down, and digging deep to find courage and take action in her life. And I'm so excited to have her here to talk about this. So Denise, welcome.
Thank you so much. What a great intro. You're awesome. I so appreciate too that you read my book. That is very generous, and I think very thoughtful, and I just really appreciate it.
Well, of course, I think it's only that's why I asked you you said if I could get the book and have enough time to read it so that we could have something to talk about. Yeah. But I also think it's totally respectful to, I've had some interviews where the book was just too immense for me to get through.
Right.
And I felt bad,
Get
but I'm
back to you
still getting
next
through those
year, right?
books. Yeah, I'm still getting through those books. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but they're just so full. I mean, they're literally full. It's like life stories. So, uh,
Yeah,
anyways, I would have needed like 6 months because
right.
I'm slow. So, but this was, I love this book because it was also my 5 a.m. read. And if anybody gets up at 5 a.m. to do some reading, some extra work, some journaling, whatever, I thought this was really great. So I took like a chapter a day
Oh, good for
and I
you.
read through it.
That's a
Yeah.
great strategy. That's a great strategy. Good for
Yeah.
you.
So then I had time to like sit and drink my water and reflect and write a little bit. And I thought it was a great. So Denise, I know that we're going to talk about the book, but you're a cyclist
Mhm.
and I and I remember reading about your bike and how you're cycling. And I was like, oh, she has cycling in there.
Mhm.
But tell us how you got into cycling. And then let's segue like straight into the idea for your book.
Oh, I just love my bike ride. But I started way back. We lived next to some Department of Natural Resources land, and my husband loves to bike. He always bikes and took the kids out biking and that sort of thing, and got me a bike. And so we would mountain bike on the DNR land, lots of trails, miles and miles and miles of trails through the forest and stuff. And really enjoyed that. Would do that every day after dinner. We would go for a bike ride with the kids and such. I did have 2 accidents. Like I broke my elbow and my wrist. One, I came down a really slick hill and endoed it, and broke my elbow and my wrist. Healed from
Oh,
that. It's like, okay, I'm going to kind of stick to the road. I kind of like doing the road, you know. So, then
yeah.
about a year later, I on my evening bike ride, and my dog always would follow me, big lab, and he decided to
Oh,
chase another dog one day, and he ran right in front of me. So it was like hitting a brick wall. And again, I went over the top, same arm down, broke my elbow and my wrist
oh,
again. And I go, maybe this isn't for me, It's like,
oh, not the same one.
yeah,
Oh
same
my
elbow,
gosh.
same wrist. Well, not in a different place. The doctor says you never break the same exact thing. It was in a different place of my elbow, a different bone in my elbow and different bone in my wrist. And so I'm like, maybe biking isn't for me. So that's when I got into indoor cycling, spin. Love
Oh,
spin, love
yeah.
spin, going to spin at the gym. So much so that one time there was a class, the teacher had moved to Germany on our regular Saturday class, and they somehow missed scheduling somebody to take over the class. And they got, hey, anybody in the class want to jump in front and lead? And I'm like, I will. It's like, well, I don't have music. And somebody's like, I got some music, and they plugged it in. And I led the class for that hour. And the gym owners was a YMCA, said, hey, do you want to be a teacher? And I said, sure. And so I got my own class like on a Wednesday night. I taught and then filled in other people, and I got certified as a teacher. I've been teaching for 5-6 years now, and I'm sort of,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So, but then with COVID happened and the gyms all closed, I couldn't go to the, spin cycle. And so, and then I couldn't go to the gym I taught yoga also. And so then I was like everybody else at COVID, watching too much news when it first started, because this was something
Yeah.
new. We didn't know what the hell was going on. And
Hmm.
and I was unemployed, and so I was drinking wine too early in the day, just listening to all the toxic opinions and making sourdough bread and eating it all. And I wasn't
Yeah, that
sleeping.
is good.
Yeah, fresh out of the oven.
Butter.
Yes. I was like, oh, that was a test. Maybe I'll make another one and give it to somebody. So, anyways, I realized I would stop sleeping. I was just so stressed, and I wasn't feeling good because I wasn't working out. I wasn't eating right. So I took a pause on the wine. I shut off the news. I got rid of every toxic person on social media that was talking anything about what was going on that wasn't positive. I had my husband, I go, can you get my bike back out of the garage, make sure the tires and the brakes and everything are going, I'm going on a bike ride every day. And he did.
Oh,
And so,
awesome. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
And so it just was amazing. I just love my bike rides. And we have a beautiful area right by the water. So the road follows the water and it's just a beautiful ride. And so I started doing that 6, 7 miles a day, every single day. And
Got
my husband,
time, why not?
yeah. And so that is where I started. And then I took my husband on my birthday in May. He's like, I'm going to get you, he got me a brand new bike. And so that's like, that was awesome. Then he went and got himself a brand new bike, but it was an e-bike. Um,
Like,
and then he's like,
excuse me.
yeah. And then he's like, you got to ride my bike. It's so awesome. So I did. And I go, this is awesome. I can go up hills now. And because that's all we are in the Northwest is hills. You know, I had to plan my journey to avoid them before. And he's like, this is awesome. I go, why did you get me one of these? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll take yours back and get you one. So he ordered me one. Absolutely love it. Yeah. So absolutely love it because now I can just go. I do about 20 miles. I just, no hill stops me. And only thing that stops me is the battery life, you know, and I can get up, you know, because you got to get to a point you're like, I think I better turn around. You know, it's like, but I love my bike. I'm not a person that keeps, I mean, you're not up there like, you know, just letting the motor go. My bike, you have to move, you have to pump it up the hills, you have to, you know, it's still, you still have to do it. It's just a pedal assist when the challenge happens that you need it.
Does that charge the battery at the same time?
It does not. It does
not.
Just,
what?
Yeah, it does not. So that's why you have to pay attention. That's why you have to pay attention.
Oh.
And I find it, I call it in my book, I don't know if you saw it, my gratitude ride, because I started writing the book during finishing the book during COVID. And I would do my meditation in the morning, then come and write, and then go out for my bike ride. And I would just get such clarity, sense inspiration. And I would just look around me and just be grateful for the beautiful, beautiful area we live in, grateful to be riding the bike, having that time to be able to just get clarity. And so, yeah, I am an absolute lover of my ride. Absolute lover of my ride.
Oh, I love hearing that passion, right? Yeah. Like it's just, and for me, I feel the same way. Like I don't get on my bike as much because when I do, like I go on long rides and I've got lots of group rides and, but when I am like by myself, it feels pretty epic, like all the time. And, yeah, I hear ya. And there's so many people. It's funny that in COVID, you dragged out your bike, right? Because so many people got on bikes.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if they all felt the same way because they're new to it but I think a lot of new passions.
Yeah, I sold my old bike. And it was to mom. She was going, yeah, I'm having the kids go out for a bike ride every day. So I needed something to follow them around. And so she got my old bike. And I was like, well, good for you. You know, good for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Actually, was it COVID? It was right before a lady phoned me up and hired me to help her teach her how to ride. Now, I've never done that, like teach her how to like hold the bike and, you know, teach her how to ride, but she wanted to so badly. She had the cutest little like bike and, you know, because her kids were riding, you know, and the same thing, like she just wanted to learn how to ride her bike so that she could go riding with her kids. Her husband was overseas. And I was like, you know what, I will coach you, you know, I will go out and I'll help you. Cause I was like, how could I not? Like, this is a woman who wants to get on her bike and ride with her kids. So
exactly. I mean, I'm such my happy place. And it's been interesting. I don't know if you saw on social media last year, I came back from a ride and I get heckled a lot on my rides. I get heckled, I get yelled at cheater. I'm going up the hills and I'm going and it's like, there's a lot of bikers out here and I get yelled at. This one guy yelled at me. We're stopped at a corner and he yelled at me. You get that motor away from you. Let's see what you do.
Are you serious? Like people actually stop and say that?
Yeah, it's like all the time. All the time. It's like,
wow.
Here I am. Yeah, it's like I go, hey, I am 61 years old. I'm out
on a bike.
I'm
But yeah,
moving. I'm happy. You know, don't judge me, please. It's like, it's just, anything that helps a person get out and move, do it. It's like,
I know. I've
it's,
seen so many people on their e-bikes. We're all like, there you go. Yeah, look at, I wish I had a bike like that. And
it's,
there's this one guy who we're in the park all the time, and you can hear him coming because he's got this radio.
oh
And
no.
he just, yeah, and you can hear him coming. And I've seen him a couple of times, like when we were like out on a Monday night, and he just sits there and he doesn't pedal. He's just like, blah, or like,
Yeah. Yeah, my bike isn't that kind of bike. You have to pedal. Yeah, it's like there is versions. I see lots of the seniors out there that just kind of don't really even have to pedal. It kind of goes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so yeah, no, I have to work for my bike. It makes me work, which is what I wanted. Yeah, I
I can't
want the,
believe, yeah, I can't
yeah.
believe somebody takes the time to like heckle
Yeah,
someone
I
on a
know. It's like,
bicycle.
you're on your joyride. Let me be on mine.
Yeah, seriously, dude, be happy for me.
Yes.
So tell me, um, about your journey starting this book.
Yeah. Well, it's like you mentioned, I've had several things in my life that, I've pivoted out of, being raised in a restrictive religion, later married, left that religion, divorced, bankrupt, single mother of 4 children, just looking for a place to land and live. So many wrong decisions, so many wrong decisions. And then, getting a great job then and getting my act together, and then getting into a car accident that just took me down for several years of so much pain, immense pain, and rehabilitation. And so, and then, I've been laid off 4 times. This last time, just at COVID, and just being able to pivot out all those things. I just got there and I thought one day, it's like, I got some divine inspiration. It's like, I need to write this down. This is some good shit, It's like, and, for me, it's been powerful. And so I did. In 2018, I just data dumped it all out, outlined it all out, the chapters, and it's pretty much everything. And I was like, I can't put this out. This is really personal. It's like the religion, I can't talk about that. I still had the mind games from that saying, you don't talk about this, and being
Yeah.
on welfare. I was like, I was always so embarrassed about being on welfare that I was like, I don't want to talk. I put that behind me. I've grown. I don't want to talk about this. But then, talking to myself about it, and I finally come to a realization now out on one of my rides. It's like, wait a minute, if I could help that one Denise where I was when all this stuff happened, if I could help that reader, that's that Denise, then get some clarity, get some insight, help them get unstuck and be courageous, then I need to do this.
Yeah.
So that is when COVID happened, and I had the time and just, started fixing it all, editing it all, putting it together, coming up with the ideas, how I wanted to structure the book, and just got it all done and joined the mastermind because I knew I needed a strategy to launch it. And that's where I
Yeah.
met you.
I know that was like, yeah, I'm glad you found clarity. I think I found too much clarity to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing what I really love. It's funny. Anyways, we're not talking about that, but like, I'm just like,
Well, keep
I don't
journaling
know.
that. Keep journaling that and seeing how it unfolds for you. That's the
Yeah, I
point.
guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just keep asking yourself the questions.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing, but it's not truly what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. What do you
You
truly
know,
want to, what's in your heart? Dream big. Yeah.
well, right now, like it's funny. Like you're probably going to think, oh, some sort of course for women, but it's real estate.
Oh, really?
I want to own properties,
Yeah. You want to
lots
flip,
of
or you want to,
property.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about flipping. No,
Okay.
maybe not.
No.
No, like income properties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for
I
you.
don't know. Anyways,
So is that your
it's
5-year plan or your 10-year plan?
this it would be the 5 year.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, my husband and I were we're talking about like our 50s. We're both in our 50s. I just turned 50. He's 51. And our 50s are the years to set ourselves up financially for our retirement. 60s, kids in university, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's like creating residual income. It's, like having investments, things like that. And I'm just like, but sometimes I think that I'm too much like my dad, and he did properties too. But I've always wanted to do properties. Even when I was 20, like I wanted to figure out how I can buy. I had an income property, but we had to sell it to buy this house, like with my first husband. I wasn't smart enough to keep, and we had bad tenants. And anyways, it was just one of those things that we had to let go of. But yeah, I had to set myself up. Like,
that's good. Well, you're in the mastermind again, and that's a great place to start strategizing a plan for that.
Yeah, there's some ladies in there who are Canadian and real estate investors.
That's great.
So yeah. So I was thinking of, and they're in my group. You're not in there this time.
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I dealt with working. I couldn't finish it up too much last time with work schedule. And so, yeah. And I got I got my strategy for my book launch and that sort of thing. So, it's working. So I've just got to devote my time to that.
Oh yeah. Cause now you've got this to really like put out to the universe. And
yes.
Hopefully this podcast will help, people go in and get themselves one. Cause I'm sure there's a lot of, you don't have to be a woman to be stuck in your stuff. So why don't you talk a little bit more about your book? Like what's in your book? Who is it for? And, just some of the chapters. Cause I went through the intro, and between you and your sister, how nice she was to you.
Yeah.
Or not nice.
Not nice.
I can't believe your sister would do that. I have two sisters.
That was my entire life. My whole entire family did that to me all the time. And then in the book, Sylvie's talking about the fact that when I was like 12, 13 years old or something like that. And we're going down the hallway and her friend was with her. And my sister called me ugly for the zillionth time. And her friend Sharon turns around, she goes, I don't know why you guys keep doing that to her, saying that to her. She's not. And I still remember the feeling. I just froze because my entire life I was told I was ugly. What came out of all my siblings' mouth all the time, and my mom never stopped it. And then that later on they all got married, and I remember them talking that it was the ugly duckling that turned into the ugly swan. And I was 17, 18 years old. So, and that it was constant. It was constant that name calling. And so it was pretty brutal.
Do you think you were just so beautiful that they were so jealous of you?
No, I'm not. But that was.
Oh, come on.
I just, I think it got me not tied up into the looks type thing. After my sister Sharon told me I wasn't ugly when I was 12, 13, I was like, oh.
Hey, let's take a mini break because I have to tell you about this unique online cycling coaching program that's going to blow your mind. This is your fast and easy way to become a better and stronger cyclist by joining an online 16-week cycling training program geared towards improving cycling skills. My name is Sylvie, your podcast host and Level 3 National Cycling Performance Coach. I have been coaching this unique 16-week program every winter since 2006. Why did I create this unique 16-week program? Winters were harsh and still are here in the region. No one likes or liked to work out alone in their basements until the world of online cycling really took off last year during COVID, which has been a game changer for cyclists worldwide. So why would you sign up to a 16-week online road cycling training skills program when you could be riding inside? Well, here's the thing. There's this little known thing called the 4 key pedal strokes. Hardly anyone is talking about, but when you learn and use them, you will see a huge difference in your cycling performance, not to mention impressing your friends and yourself. First, why are you training on a trainer this winter anyways? What are your goals? Do you want to get faster? Could it be moving from 18 kilometers an hour to 20 kilometers an hour? Do you want to win that sprint? Are you looking to get stronger on the hills? Do you want to now be the first to the top, not the last? Is it your endurance base building? Do you want to move into a faster ride group? Or maybe you're looking at getting into racing. Whatever the goals, they require specific skills that need to be taught and practiced in order to improve. I've coached over 500 cyclists in this program with a reported 5 to 20% increase in cycling fitness over the 16-week. Here are a couple of reasons that this program might be for you. You're still frustrated with climbing hills and keeping up with the pack. You like structure and scheduled training sessions. You like to train in your cycling zones. Your heart rate is all over the place. Possibly you want to optimize gear changing and learn a little bit more about that to become more efficient. You would like coaching feedback on technique and form. Joining a cycling skills program like the 16-week program can provide more benefits that will help drastically improve your cycling fitness through focused training in your heart rate zones, hill climbing, speed, endurance, while building up fitness through the 16 weeks of periodized winter and strength training program. Go to 16wkroadcycling.ca. That's 16wkroadcycling.ca for all the details and to join today. The program starts in December. Now, back to our episode.
I don't need to give up, because at the time I never brushed my hair. I never took a bath. I never washed my hair. I could care less what I wore, whatever, satisfied. And so then I started paying attention because I started caring that about myself again, it's like, oh, I'm not a hopeless case, and it's like, but, and then,
wow.
Yeah, it's so, it's interesting. And it's like, I never got to be the person where I was caught up in my looks or anything. Like, I have fun with fashion now, and I have fun. I'm not high maintenance, and then I spend hours looking in the mirror to do my makeup and stuff. But
you got great makeup, by the way.
Huh?
I say you got great makeup, by the way. I'm just saying.
15 minutes, bam.
I know, it's all it takes.
Yes. But it just shifted me from feeling hopeless and feeling beaten up all the time to like, oh, somebody gave me a compliment. Somebody gave me a kind word. And it just shifted me to like, I wasn't hopeless. So that was really interesting pivot in my life.
Yeah. Imagine if that didn't happen.
Yeah, really. I know. I know. I just, didn't think I was worthy, so it was. And so it's an interesting, how that journey, it took a while for me to start caring about myself, the self-confidence, because I was also just so super shy. Somebody said something to me, I wouldn't respond back. I would just like, are you talking to me? Just like, I have no idea what to say. I had absolutely no confidence whatsoever, and totally insecure. And I got confidence, I think, as I got older and when I became a single mom. And, and
how did you so was your marriage kind of, was it organized or
through the religion?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, they don't do that. They don't do the matchmaking stuff. But it was just that he was in the religion and I was in the religion. We met. We were both like the only single people in the whole, a congregation. And so it's like, hey, this is me. We got married a month later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so not a recipe for a successful marriage. But we were married for 11 years, 4 children, and it was a very toxic marriage. very just, I was just alone most of the time, just raising the kids by myself. And he was obviously not ready to get married. And it was, I
Yeah.
was very lonely and very, I had, a couple of kids that were very precocious. And I remember him one day, he was home and I just begged him to stay home. Like, can you just stay home and be with the family? And it's like, this is really tough. It's a lot of work. And he's like, and this one that, is just really challenging me. I just don't know what to do. It's just all day. He goes, you need to toughen up. And it's like, oh yeah, I do need to toughen up. It wasn't, I didn't stand up for myself and say,
I want a
hey,
divorce.
yeah,
Thanks.
I did say that. And I didn't say, hey, asshole, you need to stay home and help with the kids. No, it was like, yeah, I do need to toughen up a little bit and get, so.
Like, took your advice. I don't want to be with you anymore. Bye.
Yeah. So it finally dawned onto me after, chasing him and knowing the marriage was just like, I was done. And then we'd go back to him, done. I would go back to him.
Oh.
And then I was like, what am I doing? I just had to stop all of a sudden. I'm dragging my kids around, chasing this guy that doesn't want to be married, that doesn't want the family, that he's got problems and I can't fix it for him, and
Right.
I just had to I have to stop and just fix myself and my family and my kids. And this is not good. And I did, that's what I did. And that was a pivot for my life. I don't know where I got the courage or the strength from, but it happened. And I'm so grateful that I finally realized that I had to take care of myself and my family.
It comes at different times, does it? I had a couple
Yeah.
pivots like that with toxic boyfriends. It's just like, yeah, just gotta leave now.
Yeah.
Mom, help me.
Yeah.
Load up my stuff and leave.
Yeah. At that point, I had nothing. I had a carload of stuff and, the kids, all their favorite toys, clothes. I had $20. I got on the welfare system. And this story is like how I got the name Busting Through. It came to me is the fact that we got settled into this back here in my hometown, Port Orchard, and the kids and I, after moving so much, and we moved into this wonky rental my grandfather found for me. Mold was growing on the walls. I had to wipe the mold off every single day. It just kept growing back. But we got into a schedule. We got into a routine. We were happy. And so I called the welfare office and I'm like, hey, I am ready to go to work, and it's like, what program do you have to help me, get a job and to help me with the childcare and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, hey, do you have a education? It's like, no, I don't, just high school. And do you have somebody to watch the kids? No, I don't. And they're like, you are where you need to be. You're on welfare. This is what it's for. Click.
I read that. I was like, yes. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just remember feeling so blown away. It's like, I was like, but no, this isn't where I want to be. This is not where I want to be. This is not the message I want for my children. This is not my vision for my life with my kids. And, and during that time also, that is really when I was like journaling like crazy, getting rid of all the old stories with my ex-husband, finding myself, what I really wanted. Cause I never really, after leaving the religion, I never connected again spiritually with anything. I was just, and just life managing me instead of me managing my life. I was just in the whirlwind. And so at that time, I just really got clarity on what I wanted from life. Who was Denise? And being a better mom, getting our act together for organizing my life and pivoting out of that situation, in which I finally did. Yeah.
Did you have to call back and get somebody else on the phone?
No. Well, what happened is my aunt at that time, she was so cool. She got me a subscription to the newspaper. She was an avid newspaper reader. And I was like, gee, thanks. Where's the time I'm going to get to do a crossword puzzle, with 4 kids and stuff, or read a newspaper? But I did. And one time there was in the newspaper, this big excerpt about the local college was doing a women transition program every single Saturday. And you had to be a woman in need. And you put the kids in their daycare for the day, and you spent all day Saturday, building a resume, building confidence, connecting with the other women. They'd help you get a grant to go back to school. And it was just loaded with amazing stuff. And what was the best thing for my takeaway was the collaboration with other women. And there was other women that were welfare mothers like me, but there were some women that were just like really sad situations, being abused. They're in hiding. They're hiding from their abusive husband and hiding their kids and just trying to be, on the down low because they, their life was, just going from place to place as he'd find her and take her back and abuse her. And there were several women like that. So we were just there as a support group. And that is where in my book, when I did my book, I really wanted to create that same thing as a collaboration and a support group. So that is why when you get my book, I have a private Facebook group for you as a reader to join, and it's closed down so the outside can't see us. And we're there to support each other and collaborate and share our wins. And I jump in with more journaling prompts and videos to further help you grow and us to talk and that sort of thing together, because I wanted to create that support there for my readers.
Where did you add that, Denise? Is it in here?
It's
in your book?
In, I think, my bio at the very back. I put it in there, and then I put it on social media. Where did I put that? I know. Well, I had it in here a lot, and then my editor said, "You have it in here too much. You need to take it out." Oh yeah.
See, you should have put it in more because, okay, I got your bio.
It's in my bio. Yeah.
Wine loving women.
Yeah, that's my wine blog. That's what started me on my writing journey. Oh my gosh. It's like my friend and I love wine, and we're in the Northwest here. There's like 1,000 wineries at the time.
Is that Napa? Is that close to Napa Valley? Or
no, we're up north in Washington. Yeah, there's Washington, Oregon, and California. We're all like a wine region.
Okay.
And we have so many amazing wineries here. And we were tasting and wine tasting, and she's like, "We need to write a wine blog." And I'm like, "I'm not a writer. I flunked English and grammar in school." I was like,
I'd be like concerned too.
Yeah.
But some people don't care. I mean, like,
oh my gosh. But, but we were passionate about it. And so I was like, let's do it. It's okay. Okay. I jumped in. I took some action. It's like, let's do something different. And found out I loved it. I absolutely loved the creative process. I loved, because we're passionate about it, to keep telling the story of what our journey was and discovering one and educating people on wineries, some small wineries and things like that. So that started that. And then 5 years ago, I was in a spin cycling class, and there was the door right open to the going out to the gym right in front of the bikes at the front of the class. I was in the front row, and here's this door. Well, I'm riding along, and all of a sudden a dust bunny comes rolling in on the floor, this big ball of dust.
Bunny?
Yeah, a big ball of dust. Yeah. And it rolls in and it stops right in front of me, and it turns around and it goes back out the door. I started laughing. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I want to write a children's story around that. And I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did. It's called The Adventures of Dust Bunny. And so I got an illustrator. I did this story. Story just came to me, and I just self-published on Amazon, but I didn't have any plan for marketing it. I had this idea. And
that should be a mom's book too, because like those dust bunnies like taking over the house.
I know. Exactly. So that was how I started writing. So yeah, it was just how it evolved.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so how do I find your Facebook page? Is it in your website?
You have to email me at pr@denisewester.com. I have pictures with you and your book. So I'll just send, and then I send you an invite. So I can, now you're a reader, I'll send you a personal invite, and so you can join our group.
Oh, okay. It's that personalized. All
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You have to have an invite. I
Oh,
want people to
I
feel
feel.
comfortable sharing, knowing that it's not going out for others to see and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And so tell us about, we got totally off topic because I was like, tell us about who the book is for, because maybe
Yes.
you got a little bit. I think we got totally off
Off that. Yes. Thank
question.
you. Well, the book, like I said, kind of back, is like, it's the person that is maybe lost themselves or has a story that keeps going around in their head that they just keeps holding them back. And you have a little voice inside of you that tells you want to do something, but you keep it down there and you don't get life to it, and you really don't acknowledge it. You think that, no, that's silly, somebody's going to laugh at me or whatever. So I want people to start discovering their passion, and that will lead to their finding their purpose, and to help them start loving themselves, exploring the old stories and the words that you keep telling yourself in your head that are holding you back, and then getting some tools and principles in your day, to methods, as I call in the book, to help you grow and that sort of thing. And some little tips, I get some tips for getting through some of the things that are bogging you down in your life, and to add action to your day. And like we said, getting moving is one of my methods. You need to be moving, you need to be meditating, affirmations to help you reframe those old stories, and being present with others. And
I like that one.
yes,
actually.
being present with others and listening instead of always thinking what you're going to do next, and especially being present with yourself, listening to what your body is telling you need, what your mind is telling you need, and your heart's telling you need. Yeah. And then last of all, G is for gratitude. Always be in a state and looking for things to be grateful for. Always. And just like, I said in that story, I did that women's collaboration, women transition, and it made me grateful, that I was in a situation where my ex-husband wasn't in our life anymore at all, and making me afraid and being in fear. And I saw these women that were afraid and in fear for their children. And that made me so heartfelt supportive of them, and then so grateful that my situation in my life wasn't so bad after all, so
Yeah, you're like, I'm so glad that he just left, or
yeah.
How did the kids like, I have so many questions for you. How did your kids deal with that? Are they still dealing with that?
They're great. My kids, they're all adults. I have 5 kids now. I got remarried and I had a 5th child. So I have 5 kids and they're all married. They have great significant others. And I have 7 grandchildren.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And the kids at the time, I remember we talked when the kid book came out, and they don't remember too much of it. They just remember they had a lot of schools. I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, my oldest daughter, she remembers a little bit more. At the time, my 4th kid, the son, he was only 2 and he doesn't remember too much. But there's things that I'm learning now, because they both, the youngest 2 that were of the 4 that was moving around, both had speech issues and that sort of thing. And then learning that at the time, that could have been because of the stress of what they were going through.
Yeah.
They were so little. And so now I know that. But I was great. I was able to get them into speech therapy young through Head Start program, and help that. But then that's something that I thought was probably a factor that happened. But the kids are amazing, and the kids are smart, and they've picked amazing mates, and
that's good, because usually that's one of the traits that kind of follow. And I know for me, like with my upbringing, it led into quite a few poor selections of partners, and one marriage, and just learning about myself as I went, and then picking the right partner. Finally.
Exactly. Yes, that can have a, this is the what. And that's the reason why I finally, it's like, that was one of the reasons in when I was selecting and dating again, I was like, I want a good male role model. I want somebody that treated me respectfully and that allowed me to be me, didn't try to change me or put me down or make me feel inadequate, or feel like I never did enough. Because I mean, I had that with religion. I never felt like I did it right or enough, and you never measured up. And I felt that way with my marriage too. But then when I got remarried, I found a really nice guy, and he married me with 4 children, which he got so much shit for. This guy's just like, run, He's like,
You
no,
got more? Awesome.
yeah. He's like, no, I want a family. So yeah, so that is really was my concern, is like, I don't want that to be kind of marriage that I had to be what the kids think marriage should be, Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want them to go through the same cycle that you did
Yeah,
and keep it
exactly.
going. Right. Yeah. So I have a question for you. When you meditate, what do you do for meditation? This is always the big question, because I'm sure everybody has an idea of what meditation looks like based on what you hear. But I've also heard that it's very different for, like, everybody does it differently. And what do you do?
Great question. Because
Yeah.
it is, everybody thinks I have to take an hour, sit cross-legged and own, you know what
That's
I
what I
mean?
did. I started that 5 minutes. I'm just like,
Right?
I don't know. I don't know about this.
How do I
I
clear
know I
all
should be
these
doing
thoughts out
it.
of my head? How it's not possible to clear all those thoughts out of our head. We have like over 6,000 thoughts going on in our brain.
Yeah.
So what I do is on my phone, I have the app, the Insight Timer, and
Hold on. Everybody write that down.
Insight
The
Timer. It's a Insight Timer. And I think there's other ones that are free too. It's free. It's called Calm or Insight Timer. And I also just joined Beachbody, and they have a whole meditation section. I haven't looked at that yet, but I'm excited about that. And, just start diving into there and listening to different things. You can just put in the search. What do I need today? I want affirmations, and it'll be that. Or I want sleep.
Oh.
If you want to do a nighttime one and you put in sleep, there's zillions of sleep ones. And I just start listening to their voice. And then if it irritates me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to, I make note of the name of that person. If it's somebody's voice I like, then I save them as a teacher. And then you can just look at all their stuff if their voice is nice. And I really find that I resonate towards the accents because it just calms me down. I don't know why, but
Which one? Australian, British,
yeah, UK.
English.
It just like, oh, I've just gone to my happy place. It just,
I'm just falling in love. I don't even know what you're saying.
Yes. But I just follow the teachers, and then I will do, for before work, I only have like about 15 minutes. I get up a little bit early to make sure I have at least 15 minutes to meditate. So I do that every single morning. And I love the guided meditation with background music. In the app, you can select that, what kind of meditation, how much time. They have a little filter. And
the app is free.
And it's free. And I like having background music because it kind of sets the mood. 15 minutes, and then you can get some guided meditations come up, and you're like, I'll just scroll through, and it's like, oh, I need confidence today, or I feel like I'm going to work. I know it was so stressful yesterday. I'll listen to some of those in the middle of the day, and I'll just go out to my car. Sometimes it's like they're little 5-minute ones to kind of just reset. You know what I mean?
You just sit and just enjoy, like just
listen to the teacher on the app, and they'll usually do first, starts doing some breathing, and then they will start with whatever their focus is, breathing, and doing a little body scan to start paying attention to where you're holding some energy. And then they'll walk you through, some mental prompts to where they want you to focus. If you want to start focus on some affirmations, or start focusing just on your breath. And so it's a great way to meditate because you're being guided. And
I like that. I don't
yeah.
like having to figure things out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes I do just put on, there's music there too. If you do just want, I don't want anybody talking into my ears. I have too many people talking in my ears. You just put your headphones on and they have some music and you can just listen to music for 5, 10, 15, whatever, 2 minutes, whatever. Take, like I say in my book, just take 3 minutes. It's the length of a song. And just close your eyes and breathe and notice your thoughts. Sometimes your thoughts are just replaying old stories, just start noticing at first. Why? I notice I'm just replaying old stories, or noticing if you're going down your to-do list for the day, or noticing if you're trying to anticipate the future. Oh, I need, this is going to happen and this, you all these scenarios going in your head. I love that exercise because you start feeling like, why am I trying to control all these situations? That are going on.
I do that. Not situations, it's conversations that I run through my head.
Yes.
That,
Yeah.
But
and it's really interesting exercise because you're like, start noticing, why am I doing that? Why am I replaying conversations? Why am I anticipating conversations? Or, it's
getting all upset about this conversation
that
hasn't even happened yet. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's me. That's why I was just like, I just need something to zen out. And the cool thing about it is that you're hearing things like that come out more and more in sports. Like the younger, and I was just thinking about that, like meditating for sport, for like, whether you're high level or you're just a recreational athlete, is finding that time for yourself where, we might think that, or maybe being on our bike is kind of zen.
Exactly. I think for me, it totally is. And that's what I kind of mentioned in my book. There's other kind of meditation. Some people, prayer is very meditative for them. Some people like to walk and it's very meditative. And I highly recommend, like I mentioned in my book, take a walk and do not take your phone, keep it in your pocket. I see so many people walking and texting, walking and talking. And, if I know you've sometimes like it, if you want to catch up, that's your time to catch up with a friend. Great. But allow time to catch up for yourself and just put all the gadgets away and just pay attention to what's going on in your heart and your mind and what's going on around you in nature. And that can be therapeutic. And like I said, the bike ride to me is so therapeutic. And that is kind of a meditation, because you're just in the zone.
Yeah. I love that. So that app you're talking about, the Insight Timer, the Insight Timer.
Yeah,
I'm going to download that. You said it's free and you get all of that for free.
You can join it too. They ask you and then they open up more things for you. And it's neat because teachers on there will have courses. There's some free courses, and then there you can pay for courses if there's something on there. It's really cool because then all these people, if there's something you really want to work on, there's a course. Or, and so it's great. I highly recommend it for morning to set off the tone of your day. And if you have a stressful day, taking a little moment just to put yourself in the corner with some earbuds and just do a little 5-minute. And especially if you have problems sleeping, it's so great. There's a lot of sleep countdowns in there, and just getting rid of all those thoughts from the day and just resetting and relaxing yourself for the day, for the evening to sleep. Yeah.
Usually reading does that for me, like something else.
Yes.
So I have to concentrate and it kind of like drains everything. Because if sometimes you sit there, you're like, I'm never going to go to sleep. I better read something. And then I'm like,
yeah.
It wasn't your book though.
Yeah.
This was those longer, bigger books. Smaller letters, tighter sentences. I'm like,
deep,
surefire way I'll fall asleep quickly.
Right.
But, so I just want we'll bring it to an end, but like, I know we could talk forever.
Yes, you're awesome. Yes.
Like,
there's so much.
I just want,
there's so much.
Yeah. If you're a cyclist, mom, not even if you know, like, okay, I have to say it, but Christmas gift, because this is coming out before Christmas. Looking for something that's really thoughtful. I know anybody who gets this book will really enjoy it. Like I said, I don't know, the book itself is just nice.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, no, like I was saying,
A great way to start your new year out. Get that for Christmas and start your year out. Start planning your 2022.
I was starting to write in here. So like I said, at each chapter, there's like 3 to 4 little bullet points making you think, asking questions, and there's lots of place to write in the back. And this might be a great between Christmas and New Year's time to put all that stuff down, get it all out, figure it out, start in the new year fresh.
Yeah.
So Denise, thank you so much. Too bad you weren't closer.
I know.
I'll have to come visit.
I would love to take some of your, I watch your videos on your skills classes when you go out, and I was like, oh, that is so awesome. I would love to ride with you.
Oh, well, hey, so I'm actually flying to Victoria tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
For 5 days with my hubby.
Beautiful.
We were able to get away for a little datecation.
Nice. Victoria is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not going to be a windy, rainy.
I'm sorry to tell you the rain is starting tomorrow. Yeah. We've got a week of rain. Yeah.
I know.
I'm flying to Palm Springs.
Shut up. All right. Well, whatever. I will bring my rubber boots and Gore-Tex and hang out.
The leaf color is gorgeous. You'll be enjoying it because the leaf colors are changing here, and they're just some oranges and reds and yellows. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Good, because ours just dropped to the ground over here.
So
all right. Well, thank you so much, Denise. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. I hope you got some great little nuggets and some ideas, and just enjoy the conversation. And like I said, I will be putting all the links to find Denise in the show notes, and also the link to her book for Amazon. So please share this with somebody who you know that would enjoy or maybe would benefit from this conversation and our enlightened conversation. Yes. So with that, thanks so much, Denise. Have an amazing day and have a great vacation for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Oh, don't forget to follow us on social media.
Yes. Like and share. And comment. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, I know we could take this dialogue forever. Comment, share, subscribe, follow. All right. See you guys later. Bye.